Okay, thank you. We will take questions. We have about 15 minutes, and I think that when you see that many number of figures, you're never surprised to see Jim as being the first one up in front.
Okay.
Jim Harris from Toronto. Nick, could you go back a couple of slides to your converting accessible voters? That was the most exciting slide in the whole presentation for me, because it shows the incredible amount of upside that we have, that if we double our efficiency and move to 30%, we would actually double our vote. We'd move to 10% instantly. And what it is it's just reaching out and converting that vote. And right now, I agree with you. Canadians have been attracted to us on the basis of goodwill. But I'll share with you something that's surprising. The majority of Canadians have not yet received, for instance, a piece of literature from the Green Party, something we will amend in this next election. And I think that's pretty low-hanging fruit in terms of conversion, reaching out and proving the relevance by having the organizational skill and prowess to make sure every single Canadian gets a piece of literature from the Green Party. And what impact do you feel that would have on our numbers?
Well, I think it would, you know, when I was talking about the echo effect, I think what it would do is prolong that, because what you're on the agenda and engaging Canadians. You know, it's one of the things where, you know, we have a tendency to, if we don't have something in front of us, we forget. And I think the other reality is that realistically the campaign does not stop. I think for all the federal parties, they're just starting to realize, you know, the old days where you stopped, you know, you had an election and it was over for 3 years and we all went home and didn't talk about politics is over. You know, you have to think of yourself on an election footing, not just because it's a minority government, but I think, you know, what I'll say, the political consumer out there needs to be reminded. And, you know, I didn't point out the example that I had, my little calculation, but if the Green Party was as good as the NDP, who were the fourth best, they would have tripled their result in the last election with 1.9 million votes.
So the potential there is to be over the Bloc, which has about 1.5 million. And so I'd just like to make this point to everyone in the room, that the vote that we get is the tip of the iceberg. And what this slide shows is we're only seeing 1/5 of what we have the potential, or 1/6 of what we have the potential to do. And we are incredibly powerful, and when we make sure that every Canadian has at least one, perhaps two pieces of literature, we'll be at 1.9 million votes.
Yep.
Hi. Sean Maw from Wild Rose, Alberta. I have another question about this particular slide, actually, and it falls on quite nicely from what Jim just said. Our problem seems to be with this efficiency of getting our vote out. And we also seem to have a lot of support among younger voters who don't like to vote. So, do you have any information as to why these generally younger voters are less inclined to vote, that would give us some practical tips to convert that to a higher number?
Well, I think if you had a strategy on citizen engagement, like, they don't vote because they don't think they'll ever make a difference. They'll never change anything. It doesn't mean anything to them. So the thing is, you know, in an ironic kind of way, if the Green Party can fashion a citizen engagement strategy that empowers Canadians, you guys are probably going to benefit from that. You know, you're going to lift up everyone, but realistically, you're probably going to get a larger share of that pie if you're leading it. Because what do they see is, you know, especially for young Canadians, kind of nothing ever changes. They can't make it. They can't make any type of difference, and everything's traditional. You know, everyone's talking about what the Senate should be doing, not realizing there's a bigger problem out there, that, you know, Canadians are just not connected to their government.
Thank you.